My question for you, the person who never sleeps, the creator, the business owner, the husband, the father, the son, how do you balance work and personal life?
To be honest, it is overwhelming. I can't lie to you. That's why I started trying to figure out ways to make things easier for me, because I have a music background, so I know marketing. I can market anything, anybody, anything, and I know what a real musician can hustle a mixtape. I can hustle a comic book.
Okay.
So if you're gonna sell them out, you're gonna sell them out your car. You sell them out your car. If that means you gotta have your son with you while you doing that, show him the hustle. To be honest with you, a lot of the people I know so dope. I know a lot of people that was on the corner and knew how to hustle. So I was like, hey, if you can apply this hustle to something that's positive, you can make your money.
You can make anything. Your money.
And there's a lot of brothers out there that don't know that. And I always say this. This is something I always say. I knew cats in the hood that could be gymnasts in the Olympics, but they never had that opportunity, because I used to see cats flip all up and down the street. I'm like, dang, he could have been a gymnast with the opportunity. I know cats that could have been marksmen in the Olympics. They loved to go to the gun range, and they had great shots, but they never knew where these opportunities could bestow them. I knew cats I knew cats that love to drive, like really love to drive, and they could have been race car drivers. But ain't nobody in the hood asking for no race car drivers. But that's why we need older males like myself and older males that I know around me to push this hustle and say, hey, if you want to do this for real, we can figure it out together. Like, let's figure this out together. If you want your story out there for real, let's figure it out. Like, no, you might not be able to spend these thousands of dollars to get a person that's going to direct it and figure it out, but you can spend it in another way. Pay an artist, bring it visually. Let's get more kids reading. Let's get more adults reading. You know, one thing, I kind of got off subject. I'm sorry, but
it's okay. Testify. Yeah. We listening. Yeah. Somebody need to hear this message. All jokes to the side. Somebody need this.
One thing I do appreciate is that I've had a lot of people come to me and say that they've never read a comic book before, and it felt comfortable to them. Like, it was like, well, that's why I wrote it. I wrote it for you to do that. So, just knowing that, I mean, you just got to find balance. I can't even lie to you. Like even this morning, I was up at, I think it was like 3. I got up earlier. I got up at like 3, and I was just laying there. I was like, well, let me do this. So now I got on my online store, and I started uploading the products that I have coming out. Like, I have hoodies and T-shirts and books, and this was to help me. Like, everything you're doing is to help you and to help somebody else, and it's to make their lives a little bit better, to build a legacy for us. So, I mean, you just putting in the work. So just finding balance, knowing when to kick it. Man, we like to kick it. We like to have fun. My son just celebrated his 6th birthday on Sunday.
Happy belated birthday.
Show him the hustle. And I feel like everything that I'm doing now, you know, I can't complain now. This is what I wanted. And, you know, even my mom said that, like, you'll be complaining if nobody was buying the comic book. So if people calling me like, hey, bro, can you bring the comic book? I go drop it off. If I got to go to a comic book store and walk in and hit the ground like, hey, how you doing? This is my comic book. You know, even with St. Louis, like, I have 2 stores down there, and I call about 3 or 4 stores down there. Like, hey, I got this comic book. I'm in Kansas City. What can I do to get it down there? And, you know, just this hustle, man. Hey, like, it's everybody got the hustle in them. You just got to put the work in.
It's a choice. Absolutely.
I hope I answered your question.
You did. It's a hustle. You're going to be tired, but the reward is in the future. It's there. It's in the hustle itself. It's building that legacy for your son, for your wife. And, you know, again, we need more brothers like you putting it out there. Again, the comic, like you said, is some people first time reading a comic. My first time reading a comic. And, you know, when I created the challenge, I was like, we need something that people think Black people don't do. We need something different in here. And that thought came to mind, and you were next. And it was like the universe at that point. So I'm grateful that you took this time to speak with us today. Any final thoughts? Tell us where we can get the book, the comic book. Tell us where we can get your shirts. I saw that too. You got everything going on. We want to know how we can support you.
So you can go to 2923comics.com. We just got the domain up this morning, actually, at about 5 o'clock this morning.
Yes.
Thank you. So we're ready to go. You can get t-shirts. I have crop top hoodies for my ladies. I have hoodies for the fellas. I got t-shirts. I got posters. And everything is just doing good. I just want everybody out there to just try something new. I know it's guys out here. I had a young man walk up to me not too long ago, and he was telling me that he wanted to do a film about some things that happened in his life. And I said, why don't you just put it in a book, but put it in the comic book? I mean, you'll have that first hood comic book. You'll have like that first Menace to Society comic book. It's right there. Do it. And, I think a lot of times a lot of brothers get discouraged because they start thinking like, how can I do this? But literally, I wrote a comic book, and I tell everybody this. I wrote a comic book on a phone. Literally on a smartphone. What I did was I wrote my comic book on my laptop. I looked on the hashtag comic book. I looked at 1,000 artists. I went through 1,000 artists. And then I said, hey, I wrote 5 people out of those 1,000 artists. And the first person that wrote me was Peterson. And he said, when do you want to get started? I want kids to know, like, hey, this ain't just for World Star.
Oh my goodness.
IG.
It's limitless. The resources are out there.
It's a resource. Back in the day, you had to pull out the encyclopedia. Now I can press OK. I can say OK Google and find what I want to.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, forget pulling out the encyclopedia. What about going to the library?
Well, this is a resource. Anything you want to know, is right here, like at your fingertips. Like, back in the day, we used to have to wait on dial-up. Yeah. Or somebody to get off the phone. Or if you even fortunate enough to have a computer in your home, you had to wait to go to the library. It's just different things like that. And I just want kids to know, like, I basically wrote a comic book in a smartphone. Like, I basically set up meetings and stuff through a smartphone. Utilize just create, and who cares? I've heard more people say, man, you're a brave dude. And I was like, and to me, I didn't see myself as being brave, but I just thought I was just doing something I wanted to do. I was fortunate enough to have people in the comic book industry talk to me about the comic book industry. And this is one of the most self-funded industries you can get in the world. And I've had people tell me that before I even wrote my first letter, people tell me, like, look, this is what you need to prepare for. This is what you need to be ready for at all times. You need to have your money right. If you need to pick up an extra job. I had a guy, his name is Andrea. He wrote The Shepherd. And he told me, he said, I had to pick up an extra job. He said, I spent like $50K on my graphic novel. And when are you ready to make that sacrifice? Are you ready to not have an extra pair of J's or a shirt here or a dress there to make sure that you got what you really want in the long run? Are you ready to live, what they say, live like you don't want to live like you want to later? So, I mean, it's all about sacrifice. So I just want to, if kids are watching this, I know I talked about the streets. I know I talked about the corner. That's nothing to glamorize. But you have to make your lemons into lemonade. Yes. You have to utilize, even though some of those people that are out there on the streets aren't doing the best, they are teaching some different principles. You need to take the good with the bad. So I always I'm proud of where I came from, and I just want you to be proud where you come in and spin it, man. Spin it.
Okay. Well, Jay, we are proud of you. Keep pushing. It won't be easy. You know that. So the hard part is over, right?
That's over. Hey, the writing is the hard part.
But we need you. We appreciate you. 2923 Comics, the Scarlet Knight, Defender of the Block. Again, thank you for dropping this on us in this given time. And we just want to keep reaching out to you. The best contact for you is?
You can reach me on Instagram. You have Scarlet Knight 2923 on Instagram. You can also reach me on Facebook. It's the Scarlet Knight, Defender of the Block. If you want anything pertaining to the comic book, if you just want to holler at me, you can also reach me on Instagram at Juaquan that's Juaquan _THA_, or you can just hit me on Facebook, Jay Allen. And people help me out. I'm definitely willing to help anybody else that pings my line. I'm definitely here as a resource for anybody, because who would I be if I can't help out the next person? Everything that I'm doing is basically crap if I can't push it to the next person. So
I know that's right. Pull the next person with you. Again, And thank you for your time. And we appreciate you for joining Carter Creations, helping us celebrate the Black Kids Read To campaign 25-day challenge. Hit us up with any questions that you may have, and have a good one, y'all.